Greetings, all you wild and weirdos and weirdettes. It is I, Ron. That is Joe over there, manning the board. And this is the Wild and Weird Radio Live Experience, because that's what it is. It's an experience. Exactly. Right, Joe?
Oh, 100%. You know it is. So you guys, hope you've had an absolutely fantastic weekend. If you haven't noticed, the latest episode of Paranormal Horizons has dropped. We're going to be going over that some tonight, but man, there's been a lot of stuff going on, and there's been some interesting developments, to say the least.
Yes.
And on multiple fronts. But we've got a lot of people hanging out here with us already. We'll start calling them out.
Let's get them in.
We've got Anita Allen. Hello, weirdos. Don't forget to hit like and share buttons. Absolutely, Anita. Absolutely. You get them. Tell them. Scott Holbrook, what's going on, man? Hope you guys have had some fun down there in the lower panhandle there LW. In Florida. LW Marshall kicking the door down at 8:04. What's going on, brother? Thank you so much. Much appreciated.
Much.
And oh no. Here we go. I'm just going off names here. All we have are pixels. Thank you, LW. You are awesome. As always, much appreciated, brother. Dances with Orbs is in the house. Happy Thursday right back at you. Watching Linda's story while waiting for the show to start amazed and kind of scared me at the same time. Pretty interesting story.
We're going to talk about it.
In the house. What's going on, Gary? Holy crap, we've got
let's get them
all at once.
Let's get them. They want that new lock screen. Get them.
They do. We got. Come on, play ball with me, guys. There's a feature that they've taken away.
Keep them kind of short.
Nancy White, what's going on? There we go. Nancy White. I used to be able to just click them in the top header and throw them down. Ada Cox, thank you as well.
That's good.
LW Marshall, just doing my small part, brother. Hey,
LR Miller,
nothing small here, my man.
LR Miller's, absolutely. Love it.
All right. Oh my gosh.
Oh my.
They keep coming.
Look at this.
Dances with Orbs.
We're
not even going to get to start the show at this
point. It's okay.
Kenny Hess, thank you as well, brother. Thank you.
3 more away from that unlock.
We're getting there.
So let me tell you about it real quick, okay? So the unlock, I'm doing something new for you guys because you do this all the time. So it started as just a little side project that I was working on for Horizons. I was doing some special effects shots because, I create all that stuff, right? So anyway, I was working on something and I'm like, you know what? It would be cool to have this little, while we do our unlocks, but kind of like the blue one that we did there, right? Let's make it episodic. So what we're going to do, or what I'm going to do, is I'm going to render out basically a little story. So you're going to get to see this little story evolve, this little animated story, but you're going to get it in sections, little pieces. So tonight's going to be the first piece of that. And that's what you're working to unlock.
You guys are getting there. Kenny, thank you.
Absolutely fantastic.
Dance with the Orb says, I can't wait to see everyone in person. I was thinking about staying at a campground by Clendenin, rethinking that after the Paranormal Horizons episode. Honestly, the only reason I would rethink that is depending on the time of year, especially right now, the river is extremely high.
Oh, yeah.
And most of the campgrounds down that way are down around the river area.
Yeah.
LR says, hey, Ron and Joe, did you happen to get hot dogs at Frostbite Dairy Bar while in Clendenin? We
didn't.
Did not. It was actually closed when we went through.
But that's a thing to do. Yes.
Yeah. Because like we even drove by and I was like, hey, Ron, oh man, it was closed. Trying to catch Jordan Booker going to watch the new Paranormal Horizons later. I can't wait. Awesome. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you for watching it. Thanks for keeping up with it. And everybody who's come over from there to hang out with us, we appreciate you guys as well. Vincent Ellison, I'm back. Glad we didn't scare you off.
Welcome back.
And let's see. Power Band is in the house. Eyes in the Woods. What's going on?
Octo just...
CJ Boker. Has Octo arrived?
Octo just got here and said, hey, look at me. I'm number 2 away now.
Octo.
Yeah, 2 away. Yeah.
Coming in out of nowhere. Dr. Octolove, nothing but weird. Well, not weird like freaky. Well, not freaky like that you know of.
It all works.
We appreciate you, man.
Good people.
Thank you. Jimothy from Spooky Appalachia.
Oh my goodness!
In here, what's going on, man?
Gary Schuler just put you guys 1 away.
Gary Schuler,
look at that.
We need new blessings. I'm running out. Thanks, Gary. We appreciate you.
That's awesome. Absolutely awesome, guys. So is everybody in?
That one actually put you up a notch. If you're not already in the executive producer status, that moved you into it.
Oh, boy.
Let me go check these real quick. Gotta go to the edit screen. So, Ron, talk to him for a minute. Let me get through this list because this list is expansive.
You can do that, but Larry Hose just did it again. So
there's Larry.
Yep, that's it.
Larry.
So basically, they've got it. They've got the unlock, and we'll show it to you here. Probably about midway through the show, something like that. Do we get what? Do we get another episode if we hit 20? You know what? Yeah, sure. Why not? You guys, we hit 20. Well, yeah, that works. Yeah. But you hit 10, so you got episode 1 already. So anyway, hope everybody did enjoy the show and got to see Paranormal Horizons. We're going to be talking a little bit about that. Thought Linda did an absolutely fantastic job, by the way. That interview lasted quite a while. And
that interview was like 2.5 hours.
Oh, there's so much of that I had to cut out. That's over here in the vault. But there's just so much of it. It was just amazing. And to hear her tell that story. And yeah, there were times when, she was getting kind of emotional with that. It was intense because you realize you are talking to someone who has seen this, and in such a way that it has actually affected their lives. And it was really awesome to be a part of that. So was the Roni Wheeler interview.
Roni's interview was something else, man. And Roni's interview is special. In case you guys didn't know,
it's very special.
We were the first people to ever interview Roni Wheeler.
That's right. That's right.
That was set up for us by the one and only, the man, the myth, the legend himself, the Mothman master extraordinaire, Jeff Wamsley.
Absolutely. All hail Jeff Wamsley, everyone.
He set us up with that. And what's crazy is the same day that we interviewed
Roni,
we got to meet Roger.
Out of the blue.
Just randomly shows up.
Out of the blue. That was crazy. Amazing. Yeah. That was the coolest thing ever. We had just wrapped the interview, and we got
Jeff
a phone call
downstairs.
Got a phone call. Jeff, come downstairs now.
Because we'd interviewed Jeff earlier that day.
Okay. You don't ask why, you just do it. So we dropped everything, went downstairs, and that was the rest is history. It was amazing to actually get to talk to him.
And so that whole day, all across the board, could not even top it. Like the day was just unreal. And we're going to save that one because something special happened.
Oh yeah. You can't give it all of it away. No,
give it away. Something special happened with the interview, and it turned into absolutely amazingness. But we were the first people to actually, that was historic for us, not just for us, but for the Mothman story. It's awesome to be able to be linked now historically to the legend of the Mothman. Because we'd helped and done stuff with the festival. We've been a part of the festival. We've done stuff for the museum and things like that, and those have all been amazing. But actually being able to put our mark on the legacy of Mothman by being able to interview Roni and put that out to the public,
it's on the record.
Can't beat it.
Yeah, it's on the record. And it made his day. It made his life. But
that's literally what he said.
You're going to see more of Roni. Don't worry. Next episode, you'll see more Roni, and it'll all make perfect sense at that point. Last episode of Paranormal Horizons was awesome. You ain't seen nothing yet.
That was just a kickoff.
That was kind of like,
and I know we say this every episode.
For real.
Just wait till the next one. But like,
yeah, it goes nuts. That was, that was an incredible episode. I can tell you that. And you're going to get to hear some more about that here in just a little bit. Let's hit the
Clendenin Cemetery is my family cemetery.
Really?
That's interesting.
Wow. Well, I'll tell you what, it was pretty crazy that we were there that day, and it just starts raining on us. And I'm like, this, of course.
Yep.
Of course it's raining on us, That wasn't our first weird thing in Clendenin. Our first weird thing in Clendenin was coming back from, what was it? The small town thing. Remember?
Yes.
The massive, crazy electrical storm?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was wild. That was pretty wild because
that was wild.
We had experienced a pretty wicked electrical storm on the way home, and that was actually not Clendenin. That was driving through Parkersburg.
Oh, that's right. It was. That was Mineral Wells. I'm sorry.
That was Mineral Wells area. We hit this ridiculous electrical storm. That was one of the most magnificent electrical storms I've ever seen.
Yeah.
Tremendous displays of energy. It was absolutely mind blowing. Now there's a lot of stuff with that Clendenin start off, where we landed there, how we got there, and stuff that you guys haven't seen. Stuff that
you got to go back and thank Andrew.
Yep.
First, let's put his name out there.
Yep. So Andrew agreed to come on and be interviewed for this project. He was all about it, and he set up a day, and it all lined up to where I had a day off, and we had the ability to streamline Clendenin, Flatwoods, and Mineral Wells all in one swing.
Yep.
We made a full day of it, And we went up, we interviewed Andrew, had a good time. On the way back down, we stopped in Clendenin because you got to go check out the cemetery. We're following the story, right? So you go where the cemetery, you go where the internet says to go to find the grave.
Yep, we did.
How'd that work, Ron?
Well, it worked. And I think we demonstrated it very well. We actually demonstrate that better in the next episode. So you'll get to see how that pans out.
Yeah.
But let's just say that AI don't know. AI don't know.
Google
don't y'all
search
trust that.
Don't know what to do.
Don't y'all trust AI.
Don't trust what's been fed into news articles and fed into the internet for years. You'll see soon.
Yeah, you'll see.
That Clendenin thing, it ties in a whole lot.
Oh boy, does it. Well, before we hit that, do you want to get the news real quick? Get it out of the way. Brush this out of the way, because there's some things we got to talk about real quick.
There are some pretty big things.
There was some pretty big things. So let's go do that news thing.
It's always a catchy little jingle.
Oh, it is. Always a catchy little jingle, right? Well, this week in the news, boy, oh boy, did sparks fly.
Yes.
I don't even really know where to start. So we're just going to start with, let's start with this story right here.
The House Oversight Committee announces a disclosure task force. The announcement was made by Representatives Comer and Luna. Both have been involved in the UAP hearings over the last few years. These lawmakers have pushed for more transparency on the UAP issue. This new task force is going to be bonkers, guys, in a good way, I feel. First thing that they're tackling is the JFK files. Luna to lead the new House Disclosure Task Force, the JFK files, the Epstein list, UFOs on the table.
It's all on the table.
Yes. It is going to be something else. There's
yeah.
The fallout. Yeah. I've been thinking about this for today. Ron and I spoke about this on the phone earlier. For the first time ever, I have been setting in a place of, this is cool, this is great, excitement. And at the same time now, extremely nervous at what is coming in the future.
Well, this is the X-Files. And that's literally, if any of you guys watched the X-Files, and I don't mean like, when they rebooted the series, but watch the X-Files, the series, the original one, and how it kind of ended. Yeah, think about that. Just think about that.
Yeah.
And you'll kind of get an idea of where we are with this whole disclosure thing. Disclosure is apparently happening. And it's not the way that we thought. So they got us on this. They really did. They got us. I never thought that we would see
the announcement came in February.
But I never thought we would see a government task force set up to literally tackle all of that. It's an amazing amount of theories. Hello, Mr. Adam.
Gary Schuller, X-Files redo.
Yeah. X-Files in real life, IRL, I guess.
Yeah.
So it's very strange what all is going down, but we do know that there have been some interesting things said. This one was just from today.
Yeah, the agencies were contacted, and they were notified that they had until the 18th to respond. If we are blocked from the documents and see that they are stonewalling the President of the United States executive order, I'm going to start sharing names with you all. We have not seen a plan for release yet. What that tells me is that she has sat in a skiff and has reviewed the documents, and she knows what's on them.
Oh, yeah. 100%. They know exactly what's going on. So, folks, we want to hear your thoughts on this. We could talk about it for hours, but let's hear what you are thinking. Because, again, we are in this post-disclosure world, and now it's time to deal with it. So let's figure it out. What does it mean to you, or does it mean anything to you at all?
Octopus says it's all going to be covered up plainly on the table. That's for sure.
I don't know what's going to happen, Octo.
There's a lot of players in this. For one, Luis Elizondo. He teased at it before it was announced.
He did.
Multiple times. And the day before the announcement, or the day of the announcement, he made a post that said, "It's happening." And then an hour later, the press release occurred.
Yep, that's right. And I remember when that happened because you sent me the thing that said Luis Elizondo just said, and I'm like, what does that mean?
Yeah.
And then this happened. And I'm, I don't know. I can see it both ways. I honestly can. I can see them, this being real, and I can see it being like some kind of a major psyop, but I don't know what it is. We're literally in that age of trust no one, right, Joe?
Yeah, we really are 100%. And we've been, that's been one of the things that we've almost had a mantra, is believe the lie and trust no one.
Yep.
Since we started. And we are now at a point in time where it's never been more accurate. As getting ready to
pop it up.
So it says Elizondo has Mellon pulling his strings. Of course, he had a heads up on anything coming out of Washington.
Well, that's the truth.
Yeah, Christopher Mellon and Elizondo are like this.
Yep.
So Enzo also said, sorry. Dances with Orb says, I think things are going to come out. The government is in so much turmoil that things are leaking out all over the place. The curtain's coming down. That's what I'm seeing as well. Even from a military position, that's what I'm seeing. This is very, it's concerning to some degrees. It's relieving in others, and at large, I told Ron I have a lot of nervousness here. Enzo said, we'll have to just wait and see what this task force produces. My hopes aren't very high, but I'm watching it closely. Yeah, I'm kind of in the same boat. My hopes aren't tremendously high. I do want to believe, again, I've got Mulder syndrome. I want to believe that they are going to actually do something. The JFK files and she even said in the hearing that as soon as the JFK files were released and open, the next thing they're going to go after is the MLK assassination. And holy crap, the fallout that can come from both of those.
Oh, the fallout that can come from both of those is absolutely clear. I don't have mine. I should have. No, it really is. This is absolutely. But you know what's the thing about this, Joe? Honestly, the only people who are really going to care are people like you and me, because almost every generation at this point, below us, they don't care.
Yeah,
this doesn't mean anything to them. Who's JFK?
Right.
What's a cell phone? I mean, what's a rotary phone? I only know what a cell phone is. What's a landline? Yeah, this is for real. That's what I'm dealing with. And if you don't believe me, you get a rotary phone and you set it out in public.
Yep.
And you watch, because it's fun to watch. And the guys who have been behind the scenes at the Mothman 66 escape room can tell you it's hilarious to watch.
Yep. I've seen the videos.
I've seen it happen.
Octopus says this is the exact type of investigation that will not disclose anything real.
I don't know. I'm going to give them this.
Benefit of the doubt.
Here's the thing, Octo. And we were talking about this earlier today too. If they want us to believe it's real, they're going to have to they're going to have to prove something, right? So there's going to have to be some kind of proof. And I mean, I'm not talking about names. I don't care about lists of names.
Right.
I'm talking about, we want to see.
I don't know. When it comes to the JFK file, the list of names.
Well, I'm talking about the other stuff, but yeah, right.
She's going to start if they don't have it by the 18th, which is tomorrow's the 14th. That means if they don't have it in hand by Tuesday, they're going to start telling what they know. They're going to start telling things that they've seen in the skiffs and behind closed doors.
Yeah. Yeah. But I'm talking about with the UAP stuff, and we need to see something real, and not just talk.
Grush is not part of this task force, and he hasn't been part of the UAP task force for a few years.
They're theorizing that he is possibly under he's in litigation. There's something going on with that, because if you guys remember, they tried to tarnish his career. They tried to go after him personally,
and he's suing people for slander. And
right. That's what it's theorized, that he's going after him, and I hope he is. And man, do I hope he wins. I hope he tears them to pieces.
What's going on, Angie?
PTSD is not something that you use against somebody. And whoever did that,
you know what you do. If you ever want to use PTSD against somebody, you best get ready for that PTSD to be weaponized against you.
No, it's true. It's absolutely true. And these guys are actual heroes, and to do this to them is absolutely disgusting.
Oz says the disclosure is a slow, orchestrated roll. I don't believe it. We'll
have to wait and see. I mean, I don't know yet. There's a lot I don't believe right now. I'll be honest with you, Oz.
Tony says, hello there, friends, foes, and friends.
Fiends.
Got Beth over here. We're just being prepared inch by inch, piece by piece. Yeah. Anita says, crap's getting ready to hit the fan on high. That is the facts. Some of the stuff that's been coming out, there was today, there was a very high profile arrest made on criminal charges. And it was in part of some of these audits and findings of laundering, and treason is what today was for.
Well, let's just see. I mean, again, and give them a benefit of the doubt. We've done it before. I mean, we sat through Arrow, for God's sake.
Right.
We can give these guys a little bit of a benefit of a doubt. And one thing's about it, it can't be as bad as Arrow.
CJ Boker says, how far will it go back on the names? Second question. And what about the Candy UFO connections? Any thoughts?
What's that now?
The Candy UFO connection?
What is that? Brief me. Brief us, CJ.
Are we talking about the Tic Tac?
Maybe.
Tic Tacs of candy.
Is that it?
Terry McCullough says, I welcome our new alien overlords.
As you should, Terry. As you should.
The dark side says, hey, what's going on?
Because I'll tell you this, that's another thing. That's also in the rumor mill, right, Joe?
Yeah.
We've got alien invasions in the news again.
We do.
And of course that started with Corbell, when he was interviewed. They're reviewing the GFK files first. That could take the rest of the year. When will they get to UAPs? If I had to make a guess, this will be a very slow process.
Well, it's going to be a slow process, but they've also broken this task force into, I guess, teams,
subcategories.
Like there's different people looking at different things, so that way they can hit this as quickly as possible. They've even broken the USOs and UAPs into separate categories.
Yeah, which I thought was interesting. Didn't you think that was interesting?
I did, and I remember as soon as I saw it, I messaged you immediately because I watched the press release when I was on my lunch break. I took a really late lunch break so I could watch the release. And
you beat me for a change. Yeah,
and so the mentioning of the separate task force or separate teams to head these things up was really interesting. Because it implies, and you got to think this is coming from insider knowledge, right?
Yeah.
It implies that they're aware they're dealing with two completely different things. Otherwise, why would you have two completely different teams?
No, you make a valid point. You've got Tim Gaudette, who's basically sitting there saying that the navies have seen these things. These subs have
Yep.
encountered these strange objects that are moving faster than anything.
500 knots.
Right. Think about that for a second. Underwater.
Yeah.
So yeah. So you've got some real things going on there, and then you've got the flyboys over here telling you that, well, we've seen things up here, from 10,000 feet descending down to 80 feet off the ocean and in the split second. What are those? Well, they may not be related, or they might be. Who knows? But hopefully, my thing is on this whole UAP, the whole phenomena, UAP, USOs, all of it. I hope that these people are actually communicating together to actually have this conversation rather than, well, this is mine and I'm not going to share it with you. Kind of like the community.
Yeah. Octopus says Joe Mulder didn't trust the government investigations to find the truth. No, he didn't. And the only reason that I have a modicum of hope is because the people who are doing this don't seem to trust the government either.
Yeah. Yeah. If you remember, Mulder had the insider Deep Throat, and he would put the little X on the on his window, and that's how the guy would come and give him his stuff. That was his whistleblower.
Yep.
Again, it's a documentary, guys. Go watch it. But back to the other stuff that was at what I really wish they would explain the drones and the fog.
Yeah, they kind of just wrote the drones off. The fog.
Nope. The drones are still there.
Yeah, they are still there, but they're saying that they're allowed to be. Like
they're allowed to be.
Without going into any detail, they just said, yeah, they're there. The FAA knows they're there.
They're there. They're part of a.
They're conducting research.
Yeah, we conduct research too.
Exactly.
So what are they researching?
Radiation sniffing devices.
I'm just saying.
Just saying. I know what some of those drones were. I've seen them fly before, and I know what's on them.
Yeah, but here's the other thing. There are other things besides drones.
Oh yeah,
and, you even had the mayors of one of those towns up there sitting there on News Nation saying, "Look, I watched this thing. It was an orange ball of light, and it turned into a drone. It looked like it turned into a drone. Now I don't know if that was a spotlight, and then I saw it
like a spotlight, and then the spotlight faded off.
I don't know. I wasn't there, so there are weird things happening. There are weird things flying in the sky. There's all kinds of weird stuff." And it all kind of plays right into this next little part there.
Dances with Orb says, I think if things get released, it will be accidentally and spitefully done. That's what I think too.
No doubt. This has been a long time coming.
Yep.
Long time coming.
Oz says this could also be a big distraction. Could be. Very well could be.
So there is that's where the whole Jeremy Corbell 2027 alien invasion story starts. That's the transcript from it. I've watched this. I mean, a lot of people have. Basically it just says that there's this lie that they're going to be telling us. It's going to be basically it's the Blue Beam story, right, Joe?
Yeah.
Isn't that kind of what it is? It's pretty much off the script.
Blue Beam, but less holograms.
Mm-hmm. Right. Physical. Yeah. And it's going to be fake, and it's not real, and they want to tell you this, but it's going to be, what did he say? It was there's a UFO on its way or something. There's a craft on its way.
Yeah, which we had seen some stuff about a large object that was out in space moving.
We talked about this.
Reach us by a certain point in time when we put that on the show 2 years ago. It was newsworthy. There is something out there, but like pop that back up. I'm going to read a segment.
Oh, you want to read? Okay, go ahead. Sorry.
So Jeremy Corbell was in this documentary. It's called The UFO Revolution. And like you said, a lot of us have seen this. A lot of us have seen this post by Joe as well. And the Jeremy says your government now wants you to know the one truth, and that truth is that the UFOs are real. They've already told you. Sometimes when you want somebody to know the truth, It's so you can set them up to believe a lie. Yeah. And that's coming. I have zero doubt that the lie is coming. And then the producer asks, what's the lie? Corbell says specifically, you want me to say it right now, for real, on camera to be put in the show? The producer says yes. Corbell says, okay. Problem with that, if we tell the lie before it's told, they can adapt. That wouldn't be wise. I'll tell you privately, but I would really think about if you want to put it in this show for real. That's a real thing I'm telling you. So will you think about it before putting it in your show? Producer, absolutely. Corbell, okay, so UFOs are real and they've been here for a long time, and that's the truth. But the lie is coming. All indications, like all of them, is that the lie is going to be that there is a craft slowly making its way to us here on Earth. And that is the lie they're going to want you to believe.
Yeah. So we have to ask ourselves a question here, because we talked about this a very long time ago. We talked about this a very long time ago, years ago, that there was a possibility that something was coming, right?
Yep.
We had that conversation. We had that conversation because we followed the data. And the data said, you guys haven't been talking about this forever. And this was, I believe, 2027 or 2017. Sorry, 2017. 27. Oh boy, I did it, didn't I? It was 2017. And we were looking at what had been released and just been, this is amazing, because it was at the time. And now look at where we are. We're mountains of data over top of that. And we thought that was something. Why did we suddenly start talking about it? Why do we have to start acknowledging this? Why was disclosure shoved on every page of every magazine, every newspaper? The logical conclusion at the time was that they knew something, that there was an event that they couldn't cover up, that there was something that was going to happen. That's what we said. It's literally the same thing he's saying. The only difference is, what if it's not a lie?
Yeah, because he has enough connections, i.e. Chris Mellon. He's also in Chris Mellon's back pocket.
Bingo. I don't know. This is something to think about, something to look at, something to worry about, I guess, if you want to be that kind of a way. But, you could be like Lou Elizondo and just, I don't know, build a bunker. I mean, go out and build yourself a doomsday bunker. Get ready for 2027. But that's not what Lou said, by the way. I listened to this
it's not.
podcast.
He did a podcast with Chris, and he clarifies what he's saying.
He did this podcast on Julian Dory's podcast, and he literally says there's a lot of reasons that people build bunkers. It's not always about alien apocalypse or something like that.
Yeah.
And he goes on to talking about, natural disasters, et cetera, et cetera. And it's interesting to me because, there's other things in the news that might relate to why Lou's building a bunker.
Team Big Rock. We're finally getting it. The astronomers have been keeping a close eye on an asteroid between 130 and 300 feet long. That is a very small chance of crashing into Earth in less than 8 years. And as they learn more about this asteroid 2024 YR4's trajectory, the odds of impact are expected to slightly rise before it's expected and hoped they fall to zero. Astronomers at the Planetary Society have said that the process has started to unfold since the asteroid was first spotted late last year on a potential collision course with Earth in the year 2032. For a time, the odds of impact fluctuated around 1% before suddenly jumping in recent days to 2.3%. Now,
let me say something real quick, okay, Joe?
Yeah.
I want you to understand this part right here would make more sense if they would have said this before. However, this is hindsight. They only said that it would jump after it already jumped.
Yep.
Okay. So that's an interesting data point, is what I'm saying.
There was another astrophysicist guy who's been studying this, and I can't remember what university, but I was watching a television broadcast with him, and he said that he wasn't terribly worried about it, even though this thing had a 1 in 43 chance in impacting Earth.
Yeah.
Yep. So the unsettling odds are the highest any asteroid has had of impacting Earth in more than 2 decades, since the infamous Aphobos was first
Apophis.
discovered and later
Apophis.
ruled out as a threat. But astronomers still aren't too concerned about YR4, and they insist that you shouldn't be either.
Let me tell you what, guys, when the government tells you not to worry about something,
Worry.
you probably should at least think about it. Don't worry about it, but think about it, because that means they're thinking about it too. Here's the thing. YR, whatever, 20, whatever they call it. It's a dumb name. We need to give it a new name. But here's the thing. Apophis. When Apophis was discovered, 2004, and they thought that it was going to hit Earth, they did this massive calculation. They showed it on a collision course. It made the news. If any of you guys remember, you probably don't, but I do. It made the news. And then overnight, miraculously, upon further observation and calculations, they figured out it's going to miss the Earth. It's not going to hit us after all. So basically what they do is they stare at these long enough and they go away. It's magic. It's complete magic. That's how planetary defense works. We don't pay people to actually track asteroids and near Earth objects that threaten our existence. By the way, did you know that the people who do that, Joe, that it's about the size of a McDonald's, from what I understand? That
150 to 300 feet. Yeah.
No, I'm talking about the people who actually are in charge of watching the skies for these planet killers, which it could be. It's not this time. Thank God that's not what it is. But it is a big one. And it's going to cause some issues. So only if it hits, by the way. I'm not saying it's going to hit. No one on this show is saying that. I mean, maybe someone else will say that somewhere else, but the data doesn't say that. The data says what we told you. And here's how powerful it is.
The destructive potential for 2024 YR depends on its composition, speed, and mass. Because the asteroid is still very far away, these characteristics can only be estimated, and the consequences of a strike are therefore also somewhat imprecise predictions at this stage. Currently, astronomers believe the 2024 YR would create an airburst or mid-air explosion upon impact that would be the equivalent of nearly 8 million tons of TNT, or 500 times the power of the atomic bomb dropped on Hiroshima. This explosion would roughly affect a 50-kilometer radius around the impact site.
50 kilometers, and here's the projected trajectory at this point. So yeah,
we're golden.
They're watching it. I mean,
but we might get a long winter.
You're gonna get a long winter out of this one if it happens to do its thing. But not to worry, friends and family. Check it out. Because
other space agencies build planetary defense systems from asteroids. This is something that we talked about a while back, where they were talking about launching rockets, and they even tested it. We covered it. We put it up.
This is it. Yeah, September 2022.
Yeah, rocket on an asteroid.
Yep, that was the DART program.
It was pretty interesting.
Yep, that's the
coming
DART.
years, both NASA and European Space Agency plan to take advantage of the rare flybys, sending uncrewed spacecraft to observe Apophis. It's one of the many plans the agencies have in place as part of a larger effort to build a defense to protect humanity from threats posed by asteroids. I mean, I think it would just be easier to, say, hey, aliens that we're keeping in Wright-Patterson Air Force Base, could you just call your buddies and say, like, throw a tow beam on this thing and pull it out of the way?
Right. I agree. But yeah, guys, that's something that's happening. And, I mean, if you're worried about it, be like Lou. That's all I can say. Be like Lou. Move to Wyoming, build a bunker. It's all good.
Kenny says by 2020 or by 2032, we'll be able to blast it out of the sky. Probably.
No, he's not wrong. I saw some tests this week of some footage of the new laser based on one of our ships, not our spaceships, but our ships, Navy. And it was pretty impressive. And there's even bigger ones, that they're going to be using. Let's just say if anything tries to attack a Navy ship now, blinded by the light is going to be an absolute thing. You're not going to be able to see. I mean, it's the equivalent.
boats.
It's crazy, dude. It's bright. It's bright.
Enzo says, I wouldn't put a lot of faith in projections this far out.
No.
The truth is, we live in a shooting gallery. Oh, 100%, dude.
Oh,
If we
yeah,
didn't have
dude.
Jupiter here to soak up all the stuff, we'd be in trouble.
No, 100%. Absolutely.
Luckily, we've got Jupiter swinging around out there in the galaxy, and its mass is big enough to grab most of these little things and pull them into it. And that way we don't have to worry about it.
And that's the thing. Jupiter does this and doesn't get paid for it.
Right. Jupiter is straight
right.
XP sponge and takes all the hits for us.
Yep.
We need to have a Jupiter Appreciation Day.
I think we need to have a Jupiter Appreciation Day for sure. Everybody who's in favor of Jupiter Appreciation Day, let us know, and we'll make that happen. We're gonna do our part to make that happen. Because if it wasn't for Jupiter, you wouldn't be here. Okay, really? Folks, that's going to be the news, and we're going to head over to the across the horizon. Actually,
beyond.
Yeah, beyond. That's the word. Beyond the horizon. Thanks, Jeff. And we are now beyond the horizon. Look at that.
You are indeed.
We are. I should probably change the backdrop too to make it all official.
Official. So, guys, we hope you really enjoyed the
That's not it.
the episode. I know that we did.
That's not it.
We had an absolute ball in working in the production of this bad boy. This episode was tremendous.
Look, there's supposed to be a third person. It just doesn't work without the third person.
Sure it does.
Oh.
Look. Pachow.
Amazing. It's a miracle. Check it out, folks. Look what we did for you.
We did.
Anyway. Yeah. Okay.
Functional.
It's functional. Okay.
Oh, man. So Beyond the Horizon, this episode, we got to interview Jeff Wamsley, we got to interview Linda Sigmund, and we got to interview Roni Wheeler.
Yeah.
What were some of your takeaways, buddy?
Oh, my goodness. Let me think. Well, first of all, here's how this story came about. I want to set this record straight. When we were in negotiations to do
orbs.
They've become orbs. We have. When we were in talks to actually create this thing for STM, I asked Seth, and you were there, what do you want? Is there any particular thing you want to see? Because he'd already gave us the blessing to go out and do whatever we wanted to do. And I said, well, is there anything you would particularly like to see? And of course he says, I'd like to see a Mothman episode of some sort. And I remember we got off
two wants.
Yeah.
Wineberry and Mothman.
Yeah, Wineberry and Mothman. Those were the requests. You're absolutely right. So after we got off the phone, I said, well, everyone's done Mothman and they've done it to death. So we have to do something completely different with this. And I think we did. I think we managed to hit on, and you haven't seen it all yet. So those who think that you have and can write your reviews, boy, are you, man, you guys are, let's just say you're early. You haven't seen it yet. So, you saw a part of it. It's kind of like, I don't know. I don't know how to even explain it because there's no really good analogies for it. Really, it's kind of like, there is. It's kind of like taking one episode of Star Wars and judging the whole series off of episode 1. Don't do that. It's bad. It's a bad idea.
Yeah, don't. Do that. You'll ruin it for yourself.
You'll ruin it for yourself. Don't do that. Yeah, don't do that. But for real. So guys, let's get your questions. This is it. You've got rain. So ask your questions. Let's hear your comments. I know that there was some comments over on that board. They were lighting that thing up.
Yeah, there were quite a bit that popped up over there. Octopus says, I'm happy to play devil's advocate tonight. I love you boys. I know you better than to trust government disappointed politicians to tell the truth, right? Oh yeah. Like
I don't trust anyone.
Yeah,
But
especially the government. Like, I
I'm going
do
to
have
give them
high
the
hopes.
I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt, but I am not
Well, the
trusting
the reason,
anyone.
and the only reason I'm wanting to give them the benefit of the doubt is because they have made more headway with the whistleblower protections, and that to me is more important than the whistleblower testimonies.
Well,
The fact
yeah.
they're giving these individuals protections. Nobody's ever done that before, and it's unprecedented. And for fellow service members to have been able to come forward safely, securely, without having to worry about their TS, without having to worry about their family's harm, without having to worry about destroying their career. The fact that they were given the amnesty to be able to do those things, and that there are individuals like Lou Elizondo who are going out and doing what they're doing and have similar protections in place. That's one thing that, yeah, that has given me just a glimmer of hope that there's at least one or two players in this game who are actually literally wanting to kick the doors down and show us what's going on.
Well, we always knew there was a couple. I mean, the question is it these guys? We're hoping that that's what the case is, but we don't know. None of us do. So we're just going to have to watch and see. So again, let's talk about the episode. How many people watched it? What are
Yes.
your thoughts? I want to hear. I want to hear from you. Let's hear what did I. Did I invest my time wisely? Because let me tell you what happened during the production of this. We had a computer crash, which threatened my literal sanity.
Which
Which
was,
also,
we mentioned that to you guys.
yeah,
This was about a little over a month and a
yeah,
half ago. We
but
had to have some
yeah,
reconstructive surgery performed on
we did,
Wild One,
yeah,
and
yeah.
to get it back up into functioning order. Thank you, Pat. By the way, where is Pat?
I don't know. I don't know where he's at. But if it wasn't for Pat, we would be in some serious trouble because literally the entire project hung in the balance of those couple weeks, and I didn't know what was going to happen. So I got very very good at Fortnite, and that's
He's
what saved me. No, for real, that's what saved me. I literally sit there and I played, you know, I played a video game, and that's how I kept my sanity because I knew the deadline was coming, and it's like, we're good. Pat's got this. Pat's got this. Pat's got this. You know, and I was trying to beat back the doubt, and yeah, Pat had it, or somehow. Although if you talk to him, he said it just started working. So I don't even know at this point.
That's the weird thing when you come to BIOS issues. Like, sometimes you just kick them the right way and they go away. Being IT as long as I was, some things are weird. As long as we can get everything sorted out and fixed up and rocking and rolling to get this stuff out, I'll be happy. And then we can go and do some major deep dives and start digging in the CMOS and motherboards and stuff like that if we have to. Kenny says, I can't wait for the next show with my hometown cemetery starting it out. Let's see. Paranormal Horizons episode. So many questions that I can't ask without ruining it for others.
Dude, no, you can. And we can answer just
Yeah.
like Lou did. I mean,
Yep.
Lou was very good at answering questions. We learned a lot watching him. So go ahead, ask your questions.
Yep. Ask your questions. We can dodge and avoid things as needed. Then let's
Is
see.
Linda here yet, by the way?
Yeah, Linda's in the chat. She's right
good.
here.
She made it.
She said thanks for the opportunity. Yeah, she
Good.
joined us
Good.
about 15 minutes late, but she's here.
Well, she has the
She's
thing
been
tonight.
here for the last half hour or so.
Their little discussion group they do up there. So that's where she was at first. So all good. I hope everything went well. Weather was all right.
LR says we always called that the Motorola fix. Yep. I know what you're talking about, LR. Let's see. Now that we have bought all the equipment you showed us in Canton, can't wait for your next Houston, Texas class to review. Hey, you guys get us down to Houston, Texas, we'll come do it.
There you go. There you go. Oh,
Yeah,
that's funny.
I'd love to come back to Texas. I've been to
We've
Texas.
upgraded a bit since Canton, so
Man, we've added a whole
a
lot of
little
stuff.
little bit.
We've built some stuff too. It's pretty fun.
Good stuff. So, excuse me. Yeah.
By the
So,
way, Sundance, thanks for stopping by and hanging out tonight. We appreciate you.
absolutely. So, Joe, what were I don't know, what was your takeaway from that project?
Oh man,
Just that first part of the project, because remember, it's a multi.
the first part, the interview with Roni, like that was so cool. Just and I touched on it briefly earlier. We're the first people to do that. He's not been featured in a book. He's not been featured on any documentaries. He's not been featured on Discovery, History, none of that. We were the one that actually got to tell his side of the encounter, which was essentially he was a witness of Roger and Linda and their excitement and their franticness and what they were feeling and seeing. He got to see the confusion and the fear and hear the emotion that no one else got to unless they were standing right there, and he got to share that with us, and that was such an interesting thing. And then when Linda was able to take us out to the area where she had her experience, that was really cool. And one of my favorite moments was being buzzed by Adam with the drone.
Yeah. Yeah. When you almost took your head off,
I
that was
was not
great.
expecting it, and he just wow right over our heads.
Yeah,
I was like, "Oh, that
that
was
was great.
awesome."
That was a great shot though, and you stayed, somehow focused. Walter Ballard, the thing about tech, the woohoolas playing with it too. Well,
Oh boy,
spoilers.
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 Because not technically. You can go back and look at some of the previous episodes where we've had some tech messed with, but
Spoilers.
yeah, spoilers. I mean, those of you guys were here a couple of weeks ago. You know.
Yep, because I scrubbed it.
Smog 13 sharing some of their gold. Been watching you guys since the Joe Doyle appearance. Really enjoying it. Thanks, Smog. Really appreciate you.
Blessings.
Thank you.
Blessings out. Blessings out.
Joe's a great friend of ours.
Blessings be.
Jesse was on the show here with us for a couple years, and we had a blast with that. She filled in for the late great Wayne Barnes whenever he decided to abandon us in death. And
well, he just transitioned.
Yeah, and then started possessing some of our equipment. That was the thing.
Yeah,
but Jess stepped in, and she was fantastic. And then they hosted with us with a workshop, and it just had some really great times with those guys. And it was really fun to finally get Joe on camera on the show, because we'd only been begging for it for 3 years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And he refused to come on camera. It's so fun to watch him now, because like he's so natural at being in front of the camera, but like back then he was so not wanting to be on camera at all.
Yeah, it's hilarious to watch. It really is. Well, hopefully you'll get to see more of that in the future. Spoilers.
Smog is one of my favorite characters, but I actually have Smog back here behind me. I hope I'm pronouncing your name right, because I know it's not spelled exactly the same, but Smog 13, that gives me some serious Lord of the Rings vibes.
You know what? I think I'm going to go ahead and upload this.
And I'm trying. For me, all of the blessing clips are showing up as like micro thumbnails, and I can't see them. So I'm
that's weird. I can see them.
Yeah, it's terrible.
Hang on, I'm gonna get the new one. Don't put anything up.
Well, I was gonna give this one a blessing, unless you want to do the new one.
We're gonna do the new one. Yeah.
We're gonna do the new one. You guys unlocked
it.
the new blessing, and Smog kicked the door open to get it released. So here we go.
I mean, providing I can find it, guys. I mean, it's a big desktop here. So
the dark side said you guys have to go to Wineberry with Jesse and Joe. Oh, we'd love to take them there.
Oh, there's going to be stuff. Don't worry. Yeah, I'll just keep watching. There's stuff. There's stuff going to be happening in the future. Weird stuff, probably. Let's see. Where are you at? Oh, yeah, it's in StreamYard. That's where it's at. Duh.
Octopus is getting a big dragon tattoo on his arm in 5 weeks. That's awesome. You need to get it on like perched on a big mountain of gold.
Yeah, that'd be good because dragons are gold. Anyway, let's get a few of those questions and let's hit some of those comments and let's give you part one of what you unlocked because it's going to be an epic story.
Linda said it was actually hard coming forward with my experience. It was so unbelievable. I still have flashbacks.
Oh, I'm sure. Yeah. Yeah. We're going to talk about that, Linda. We're going to talk about that. What could be happening? I don't know.
Huh.
To be continued.
That's no moon.
No. But you know what? There are certain members among us who will be just fine.
Oh man.
Anyway, thank you guys for real. So Joe, we have some comments over there, right?
You know, we had some comments that we're going to address.
Let's address some comments.
So you guys,
and let's do a little bit of a
disclosure,
little disclaimer here at the beginning.
Yeah.
And
we love you guys, and we get very defensive and protective of you guys. Okay, that goes for anybody who supports us. It goes doubly for anybody who trusts us with their story and presents it and allows us to put it on film and record it and release it to the public. So when we see comments like someone put on there, who else is smoking? You best believe you're going to ruffle some feathers and you're going to wind up catching some, typed out hands. Okay. Adam's here to cheer us up. Adam, good.
Adam.
It's like the Love Boats B team meets the Oh my God, it does. You ruined it. Oh Lord.
Yeah, that was great.
Walter Ballard says good stuff always has a disclaimer. Yeah, and so part of we snap back at a couple people. We always engage. If you've ever commented on any of our stuff, we always engage back, and we don't do it in a hostile way. We try not to be rude. We're always trying to maintain a level of professionalism that that you guys all deserve for us to have. But that doesn't mean that we're going to let certain things slide. So somebody made the comment, who else is smoking? Based on some of the situations.
Take someone to the train station.
Yeah, do we need to take it? Yeah, pretty much. That is where that was going. And that's why a lot of people don't really want to come out. They don't want to come out and share their stories because there is a stigma. There is still, even though it's more tolerated today, even though it's more accepted today, there is still a lingering fear because of people like this. And that's something that we don't tolerate. Now, we'd have probably still said something in the case with this not being a production that we've produced and put together. We'd have probably still said something because we have. We've been at conferences.
Yeah.
We've been at conferences when the director of said conference stood up and made insinuations, and we addressed them very firmly, and then we were never asked back.
But that's okay.
Totally.
Because you don't make fun of witnesses.
And then they also kicked me off the platform the next
But
time.
You don't make fun of witnesses. That's the point.
Yeah, you don't make fun of witnesses. We're not gonna tolerate that. Period. Um, and when it really boils down to it, if somebody wants to get froggy in person, I'm big enough to get froggy. But anyway, I digress. Um, we're uh, we're
Oh, I
very
don't think it has to come to throwing hands or anything now. That's absolutely ludicrous, isn't it? Now
right,
it's just it's laughable.
right,
But no, for
right.
real, serious. Back to
Yeah,
seriousness. You can make fun of us. We don't care.
yep.
You
Don't
can
care.
make fun
We
of
don't
our
care. We
research,
make fun of
but you
ourselves.
better have a way to back it up if you're gonna make fun of it. Here's the other thing. You go after one of our witnesses that's come forward, especially one that's been reluctant to come forward,
Yeah.
we're going to go back at you at that point. I'm
Yep.
sorry. This is how it is because they are brave.
Yep.
Yeah, you're a troll. I get it. That's what you do. But here's the thing. You're actually not a troll. You are actually a puppet because you're doing exactly what they told you to do. See, this is why no one takes anything seriously because for years, whoever they are, who came up with this stuff, who figured out how to discredit UFO witnesses because that's what they did.
Yeah.
And they still do to a limited factor now because they're losing their power because more of us are coming forward and we're all telling our story. And you can't stop the dam from breaking at that point. So really what's going to happen is you're going to get flooded. You're going to get flooded and you're going to not be so good here in the end because there's a lot of harsh truths that are coming and it's going to be really hard to say everybody's smoking or whatever you want to call it. It really doesn't matter because you've got a lot to explain
Yeah.
and we'll listen to you. If you want to go there, that's fine. I mean, you have an opinion, we have an opinion, but our opinion is based on fact. Your opinion is based upon nothing more than an idea and a bias. And when you have bias, you literally can't find the truth ever. So
True.
kind of feel sorry for you, honestly.
Kenny says that we have a weak, narrow mind. Yeah, a lot of them do.
Absolutely.
That's the
Yeah.
bad part. And
Yeah.
and they jump on these things just because of the subject matter. Another one that we're going to address is again very insulting. And Linda, if you've seen it, I'm sorry, but we addressed it, and again, the keyboard clickety clackety was throwing fingers, so to speak. Said that the interview with Linda was absolutely terrible. She skips all over the place, changes her descriptions of things from 1 minute to the next, and she's isn't being helped to break her own story down into segments of time and have the details fleshed out. It's interviews like this that only give the skeptical community ammunition. In fact, all of the interviews leave something to be desired. The guy at the Flatwoods Museum is telling a long debunked and mismatched story of how things went down. We have way more details on the case and more questions to put under scrutiny. But the guy is just recycling the version you read in the old UFO books from the 1970s. This is really a subpar documentary.
It's not a documentary. See,
Bingo.
That's where you lost the conversation. You lost all right to have that conversation with us, period, at that point. But we went ahead and did it anyway. It's not a documentary. It's a part of a research effort. And you got to see the background story of that. So it's not really a documentary about that. It's a documentary about our research. Yeah. So
Hillary says, I think that some of the trolls are in fact experiencers who are backwards in their own mind, trying to deny their own truth by belittling others. I do know for a fact that there have been several of those. We have been approached by some of those individuals who have come to us year after year and told us how nuts we were for doing what we were doing. And then on year 3 or 4, they'd come up and they were like, I want to apologize to you guys because part of the reason why I was doing what I was doing was because I'd had some stuff that I couldn't explain, and I was still struggling with trying to do that. And I've come to grips with the fact that I can't, and I'd like to talk to you guys about it now because you were still nice to me after I was a total beep to you.
Well, no, it happens. And that's the thing.
That's happened twice in the last couple of years.
But that's okay. That's okay. What's not okay is what we saw here. This was someone who was literally that's not exactly what they wrote that about. Let's be real. That's not what they wrote that about. We did what we set out to do. We created a backstory for what's about to happen. And if you've watched any of the other episodes, you already understood it. It's not like this is again, you're watching Star Wars. You're going to watch one episode. No, there's like, how many parts? There's more than 7 now. So
yeah, this was episode 8, right?
Yeah, right. This is episode 8. I mean, and you're acting like you've never, you don't know what's going on. Well, go back and watch some of the other ones. It's interesting stuff. And honestly, if you're interested in actual research, you'll like it. And I think this, Joe, I think that honestly, Paranormal Horizons wasn't made for just uh, everybody to watch and entertainment purposes and whatnot. It's actually made to sort of cut through some of that and show a different side. It's made to literally show how we do things, not how someone else does things.
Tony jumped in on these too, and I appreciate that, my friend. Tony says that guy offered a lot of sweeping accusations, but offered nothing specific. He was just throwing shade. I have no respect for people like that.
That's exactly what it was. Throwing shade.
The only reason I responded as kindly as I did is because that wasn't on our page that I was responding on. I had to kind of mind my P's and Q's a little.
Yeah, you got to be good. I mean, STM's good to us, so we're not going to start crap, and we're not going to, you're not really supposed to even respond, but we always respond because I think everyone needs to understand we're not like everybody else. Yeah, we've never been like everybody else. We won't be.
This isn't, STM is producing this, but they're not producing us.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Like they've produced Beyond the Horizon. But
not Beyond the Horizon. They don't produce.
Yeah, that's us. They produce Paranormal Horizons.
Weirdo.
But it's our research, it's our people, our work, and we're gonna do what we do, and we're gonna stand beside it.
Yeah, I mean,
we're not the kind of like either that get real butthurt or anything in the comments. Like we know, like the rule, don't go in the comments. Well, we do. Like we've made friends with people who were actually talking smack about us in the comments. And then like suddenly we become best friends. And now I'm friends with those guys on Facebook and they follow me on Instagram, all because we had a little back and forth and then had a come to Jesus moment. And now we all get along.
But the whole thing is a lot of people have these egos and they have these chips on their shoulder and they perceive others to have those. I'll be honest with you. I don't have an ego as far as it goes with this thing. I don't have a chip on my shoulder, but I'm damn proud of what we produced here. Yep. And when I say produced, I mean created ourselves. Thank you, Seth. You produced it. But I'm very proud of what we did. Very proud of the product. Yeah, I'm extremely proud of it. And it has our stamp on it because it's us. We did that. And if you get a chance to do that, wonderful. We'll be right there with you and rooting along with you because it's great to do that. But come on, guys. We know what that was. We're not stupid. Oh, yeah. We know. Yeah. And we did exactly what we set out to do. And you ain't seen nothing yet.
That is a fact. Rob Posey says, when people say they don't believe, especially after I've told them one of my sightings, I say, why? Because the government told you so? Our government would never lie to you, would they?
Right there, Rob. That's it. Yeah. Anyone who sits there and says those things has literally been brainwashed at this point. And, it's brainwashed by the media, brainwashed by everyone who has said, oh, little green men, flying saucers, the little jokes. Those jokes ain't that funny no more, are they?
And Octopus, we really are. Thank you.
Oh, we are. Yeah.
But yeah, we, oh, man. People. And then I went and checked their body of work too. Before I got too critical of them, I went and I looked at their body of work, which is nothing.
Oh.
So at that point, it was like, okay, we're going weapons hot.
Nah.
Lightly.
Well, Linda, thanks. Yeah. I mean, we let them again. That's fine. But we're not going to let people belittle our witnesses. Again, it's hard enough for witnesses to come forward. It's hard enough for them to speak up about these things that have happened, the things that they've seen, the things that they've experienced. They don't need to be made fun of. Their family may have made fun of them. everyone may have made fun of them,
Yeah.
And we're not doing that. We bring them out for them to tell their story. It's their story. We're not coaching them. We're not telling them what to say. It's their story in their own words. And that's how it should be. And as for Andrew, well, they might want to just go talk to Andrew because,
Yeah, I mean,
Andrew
Andrew's neighbor, Andrew's literal next door neighbor was Freddie Mae.
So I'm just saying, you might want to go talk to Andrew. He probably knows some stuff.
I'd say the
story
that he told us was probably not just some recited story from UFO magazine.
Probably not. Probably not. And that's
living beside Freddie Mae.
I mean, it's probably not. And then, there's probably a reason that we had the directors of, the UFO, the Mothman Museum there. We had the, Andrew down there at the Braxton County Monster Museum. We had the UFO stuff talked about by both of them. The Men in Black stuff talked about by both of them. Think about that.
You'd almost think we were trying to tell a story.
Think about that.
A bigger story that goes beyond a single episode.
Goes beyond the horizon.
Lingering implications for future episodes. It's a novel idea. Someone should market it immediately.
Someone really should.
Larry Hose, break out the Squatch stick. I'm about to, dude. That's what's going to start happening.
Nah.
Oh, man. Beth, Anita said, I'm proud as hell of Linda and Beth, and they've laid it all to bear and get the data out there. They're heroes in my book. You would be surprised how little flack Beth has caught over the years, at least with the stuff that we've put out. Everybody's absolutely ate it up, but for whatever reason, they went, it's UFOs. That's why. When you start bringing in the UFOs and in the future, Beth might get some flack because some stuff that we got to go down to Wamberry and go do. It's going to be involving UFOs. But it seems like with Bigfoot, people having cryptid experiences, they're like, yeah, I get it. UFOs are like, they're on something. Right. I don't believe them.
Yeah. But,
it's easier, I guess, for them to believe that there's like a 7-foot hairy upright hominid cruising around the woods, knocking on trees and screaming into the moon than it is to see a UFO cruising at Mock Jesus through the infrared wavelengths that are invisible to the naked eye.
Yeah, I'm going to go with that. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Tony said, when I spoke to Andy a few months back, he didn't strike me as someone with an outdated, shallow comprehension of his museum subject matter. Shocking, I know. Right? Yeah, that's fact.
Got you. It looks like somebody tried to actually go on and sort of vindicate and speak up for the person and apologize for them for the smoking comment, just to let you all know. Oh. So good to know. Well, that happened. Apparently we had it all wrong, guys. They weren't making fun of you. They weren't making fun of you at all, Linda. They were actually literally asking, because apparently that's what they do. Whatever. Listen, guys. Again, don't care if you poo-hoo on our research. Don't care if you watch this or not. Doesn't matter to us. I've watched our numbers go up and down constantly. It's just like a yo-yo. It always will be.
Yeah.
We're not here to make,
we're not here trying to get famous. We're not here trying to make $1 million.
No.
Ron and I both work full-time jobs and do this stuff. And it's by the grace of you guys that we're able to continue doing what we do, especially in years like we just had. Because of Paranormal Horizons, we were not on the road nearly as much as we usually are. We were on the road just doing different things. And we weren't able to produce materials to put money in the coffers to fund the machine the way we usually do because we were out filming. We had to skip a few shows. We had to, and these were shows that we had paid for because you normally start your year out paying for everything throughout the year. And then there were certain times where we're like, all right, we have to go film. Sorry. And we weren't able to make it. And we were just out. And then we were out the table money and we were out the potentials that we could have sold there, which historically, if we're coming back to a show, we've done pretty well there in the past. So you guys are really what have this past year especially kept the fires burning more than any time before.
Yeah. And we appreciate it. Seriously do appreciate it. That's what it boils down to.
Yeah.
Hi, Hillary. Incidentally, I'm from Clendenin and my husband's from Point Pleasant. Our first conversation was an argument about the first Mothman sighting. I won. Well, there you go.
Fantastic.
There you go.
That's great.
That's how you do that.
Oh, man. Dances with Orb says, Joe, I can't remember if I sent you the video I caught during the day. Super bright light passing a jet right above us. Mock Jesus reminded me. Yeah.
Yeah.
You sent me a picture. I didn't get a video, but you sent me a picture of something. But I don't have that video. Not that I've seen anyway. I saw the picture though. Let's see. LR said there's a few of us Elk River people here. There are a few of you guys. They're all talking about frostbites dogs a minute ago. Beth says, y'all have accomplished so much, though. So much to be proud of. The way we all view you guys, absolutely awesome people. Thank you, Beth. We appreciate you. You're right there in the mix, Beth. That's the thing. You're part of the team. Everybody who pitches in here, you're all part of the team. You all get credit for anything that we managed to pull off and find is credited with you guys.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. And how many of you guys want to see a return to Wineberry? I just want to know. Just filling out things here for future possibilities and ventures and possible new series and strange things that may be on the horizon, beyond the horizon, way beyond.
Very strange.
Very strange stuff. But anyway, yeah, how many of you guys will be interested in that? Just chime in. Let us know.
Linda says, anyhow, just know, Ron and Joe, I appreciate and respect you both. You guys do a fantastic job. I'm honored to be your friend. We're honored to be your friend,
right
too.
Back at you, Linda. Right back at you. And I think it's more than, like we said, when we were actually first started actually having this conversation about doing this, well, even when we met at the table, who knew that this is where we would end up? And it was all because of Mothman, which is crazy. If you think about that, if you really look at the synchronicities that fell into place that ended us up all where we're at right now, you can see a much bigger picture is evolving. And we're just playing a part of that. That's all it is. But, like I told you before, the people who have seen this thing, whatever it is, we definitely come together at some point. And it's never by our own design. It just happens.
There's my buddy Alex. He's jumped in. What's going on, brother? They're all down for us to head back to Wineberry, by the way.
Oh, are they? Let's see it. I haven't been reading.
I ran like 20 comments while you were talking right there. I just was clicking through and I'm getting them up on the screen.
Absolutely. Okay. Yeah, there you go.
Then Octopus says they're awesome, helpful, and inspirational. Truth be heard, I feel like you guys help me a lot. You normalize our deepest, darkest experiences, and you know what I want to do.
Well, I mean, the truth of the matter. Yeah, exactly. You do what you want to do. And we have. We've always done it the way we do it, as opposed to the way others do it. And sometimes that's a good thing. Sometimes it doesn't put us in the right, the best light. But what's interesting is we end up getting calls to come and talk at these places and do these things. So apparently someone likes it. It may not be 10 million people on YouTube, but it's somebody out here in the real world.
Octopus says, I don't give money to YouTube channels. You guys are the one and the only that I've done it twice now. And I'll do it again if you keep being awesome. We're going to do our best to keep being awesome, man. We're going to do our best, and we do appreciate everything you guys have helped us be able to do.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll be honest with you. YouTube, above all other social media, has probably been the best for us, and that's a fact. As far as it goes, it's definitely helped us to reach a bigger audience out there.
Let's see. Dance says, truth be told, we all want to go to Womberry. One day, maybe. One day.
Maybe. Could happen.
Alex says, I've been on since 4 minutes in, washing dishes, mopping floors, listening to Wild and Weird. Good times. You know,
there
it
go.
Gives you something to listen to while you're working, doing some stuff in the background. I do that all the time, man. We appreciate you that.
Yeah, absolutely. So let's get some questions and comments out here. Throw them up on the board. I want to hear your ideas. We want to hear your ideas. All of us want to hear your ideas.
Right.
What do you think is going to happen in the next episode?
A lot of them have seen it. Oh, wow. We've got a good crew rolling right now, everybody. Go ahead and make sure you smash that like button like it owes you money. And if you don't care, you can jump into the comments and hang out with us and chat. We're very interactive if you haven't caught on already.
Oh, yeah.
If you don't want to jump into the chat, you can hop over into the comments under the video, leave an actual comment there, because that actually helps us out really, really a lot.
Oh, that's
housekeeping out of the way. Thank you guys for hanging out. We appreciate each and every one of you. So what do you guys arrested for grave robbing?
What?
No, I mean, maybe. Like, I thought about it. There was a moment. There's a moment in the next episode I can't tell you about outright, but there was a moment where I was like, man, I wonder how long it would take people to realize that I took this.
No.
Oh man, I was in the woods. Any idea the last Mothman sighting? It depends on
which era,
which run of the Mothman, which arc,
which era, right? So, also, what? He's joking. Oh no, he's not joking. No, someone said you're joking. Yeah, you're not joking.
No.
Can you speak of any Mothman encounters without red eyes? Yeah, I can.
Yeah, there were. Ron was just one of them. There were several. Yep. When we started talking to Jeff and we got in touch with some of the other witnesses that had encountered this thing, they said that, well, it didn't have red eyes. That's why we didn't think it was Mothman.
Right. That's why I never thought what I saw was Mothman, because it never had red eyes. And, and then it was later, again, when I bumped into Linda, who told me, well, they don't always have red eyes. I'm like, what? And lo and behold, she was right. There's a lot of reports where it did not have red eyes. And it clearly is. I won't even call it, I don't like to call it Mothman per se. I just think that's a really cool name. But what it is, it's a flying humanoid, for lack of a better word. That's what you're dealing with. And it's ancient. It's an ancient concept. It's not new. It didn't just happen in 1966. These things have been traced back into antiquities.
Yep.
These winged beings. Yeah. So I don't know what it was. I can just tell you that it was real. There are multiple witnesses at these things. And let's just say I've seen some things. Maybe one day you'll get to read about them. I don't know. Maybe. There's some stuff.
Dark side, planetary alignment. All of the planets in our solar system are in one portion of the sky. You can see most of them all together. It could be a wobble in the space-time continuum.
I hope so. I really hope so.
We've got storm clouds overhead here. We've got a crazy winter storm moving in on our heads.
But yeah, there is a really awesome from horizon to horizon. From what I saw the diagram, it looked like it would be really cool if you could see it. I wonder if Dave's out trying to look through the clouds. I doubt it.
I looked on Astrophysics, and there's he would have had to drive hours to get away from it.
Yeah, they're everywhere.
Yeah, the whole state's in a blanket.
So, Joe, let's talk about why we did what we did, where we did it. This episode, like what were we really trying to accomplish? We can go there. We can actually kick that in just a little bit.
Well, this was part of the last question. It's a tag on. Before we go into that, Hillary said, "You think Mothman's eyes glow, or is it eye shine?"
That's a good question, Hillary.
It's a very good question, and we were able to literally get it directly from the very first. Well, not the grave diggers, but we got it from Roger, and from Roger's mouth, they were glowing.
So that's all we can say until more information comes out on that, and hopefully that'll come out in the future. Right now, that's all we can say. And I'm with you. I thought that it was probably just eye shine, reflection as well. And I thought that for years, but I don't.
Yeah, because tail lights.
Yeah. And I don't know that was the case at all. And if that's the case, then what in the world was it? And then I jump into this whole Keelian way of thought where we see all these strange things happening, all the orbs and the lights and the so forth and so on. And it's like, could it be that? Could this be some kind of perception kind of interaction?
Diana McCandlish says, "Has Mothman ever attacked or only been seen?"
The reports.
It depends on what you count as an attack.
Right.
Roger and Linda's car, there were marks left on the roof of the vehicle from scratches.
Mm-hmm.
Was that an attack, or was that just a happy coincidence because something flew over top of it and just grazed the vehicle?
Right. You did have that, and they do attribute the missing dog sometimes to Mothman, but that was never really seen. That was more of a something that was found later and added to the story.
Hillary says, "A group that I'm associated with believe that as far as Sasquatch, some have realized that the red is an actual glow, and it's usually so refined to the alpha male. It's just a theory. It's just as good a theory as any." We were the Bigfoot researchers of the year in 2022. And the only eye shine that we'd ever seen was a yellowish blue, kind of similar to the typidocidum of most other animals outside of owls. Owls have a very bright red glow, and so do silk moths. Now, is it a glow? I don't know. If it was a glow, it would be a biomorphic phenomenon. It'd be the only species outside of a cephalopod on the planet and insects that could do some form of bioluminescence. But nobody's got one of these things on a table in a garage dissecting it that we're aware of. So it's possible. Power Band says, "What's the book from the movie with the moth people?" I think you're talking about the Mothman prophecies. And it wasn't necessarily a book about moth people. It's a book of John Keel's research surrounding the Mothman, and they based the movie off the Mothman prophecies. Trackway says, "I think the red eyes take in so much light that there's enough residual light to accent the blood vessels in the back of the eyes." Possible. Possible. Tony says, "I have it on good authority that the space-time continuum is already a bit wibbly-wobbly, possibly even timey-wimey."
Oh, no. That's interesting.
Hillary said, "I've spent a lot of time in the TNT, a lot of time. As a matter of fact, one late night visit caused me to go into labor with my son. I saw what I thought was eyeshine, white eyeshine." That's interesting.
What?
She gave birth to the moth baby, man.
Wow. That's what I just heard. I'm just reading some of these comments. These are great.
Tony says most newspaper accounts and early interviews describe red eye shine. Kill introduced the idea of independently glowing eyes. Again, we talked to Roger, and that's what Roger said he saw. So Kill probably, by the sounds of that, ran with the Roger and Linda's account.
It's going to be interesting when the rest of that comes out.
Yep. So what did you see or hear anything else while you were up there at the TNT area, Hillary?
Oh, wonderful. Well, that's great. We have some really good comments over there, which are balancing out the, a couple of negative ones at this point. Everybody seems to like it. It seems to be, another one of those episodes. We're sitting at 19,000 views right now.
Yep.
Wonderful.
Trackway says barred owls have red eye shine, great horned owls have gold eye shine, and that's one of the reasons the barred owl was attributed to being the potential suspect of the Mothman sightings, was because of that red eye shine. But let me tell you, holy crap, you do not know what a crazy looking gold, you hear gold eye shine and you're like, oh, that's neat. But you have no idea how terrifying that gold eye shine is until you see it 40 feet above your head. And the only thing you're seeing because of the distance of the light is the eye shine. And there's such a freaking big bird and they're spaced like 3.5, 4 inches apart. Oh my God. It's beautiful color. Very unnerving, but a beautiful, beautiful gold.
Oh, that's the movie that said Indrid Gold was Mothman. Yes, yep. LR, that's the movie that said Indrid's the Mothman. Which no, he's not. He's not.
Octopus says the eye shine of that which roared at my friend had a yellowish tint. Yeah, that's what we have seen ourselves, was that yellowish kind of tint. And one time one with like a yellowish blue kind of color. Hillary said I was due that week anyway, and it was anything traumatic. I just ran out of my shoes. We heard walking in the brush, a few whistles, but nothing definitive. That props up an experience that Ron and I had there.
That's crazy. That's crazy.
Ron and I had a very, very similar experience at the TNT area. Very interesting, Hillary.
Yeah, but there's this, again, there's this weird feeling you'll get there from time to time, but it's strange, isn't it? I mean, and then other times we'll go out there and there's just nothing.
Tommy said the death flu has had me in a bad way. I'll see you guys next Thursday. Night, buddy. Hope you get better, brother.
Yeah, it sucks.
The Hillary says we didn't go to a bunker that night. We had went there to entertain our kids with scary stories. I've only been to the bunkers during the day.
Oh boy.
Well, you guys
pretty fun.
A workshop.
Yeah. Speaking of which, we think we might have a month nailed down for the workshop at this point, right?
What is it? Oh yeah, roughly.
Roughly, yeah.
Yep.
It would appear that if our schedule's right, that it would be sometime in October. That's what we're looking at right now. So we're trying to, So we'll try to get
that heat. Trying to get away from some of that heat that we experienced with the last one.
Yeah. So we'll see what we can do, and it may change, but tentatively right now it's in the October timeline, and we'll see what else we can do there, and what other surprises we can get you guys. But when it becomes set, you'll be the first to know right here. And if you don't know what we're talking about the second annual
Paranormal Workshop.
What do we call it?
We call it
UFO and Paranormal Workshop. That's what it was.
Yeah. You could just call it a high strangeness research workshop.
Yeah, I think that's what we're going to call it, because
it's probably more fitting.
It really is, because there's so much there. I mean, everybody experienced something weird.
Yeah.
So
we had EVPs recorded over in one area. We had UAPs captured on infrared. We had UAPs captured on thermal.
Audio. We had audio.
Yeah, clear audio. It was interesting.
It was definitely interesting. So yeah, it's definitely a high strangeness workshop, and that's going to be kind of what we'll just watch for it. You'll see it when it comes. But more importantly, before all that, we do have our quarterly meeting that will be kicking off here pretty soon. So we're going to be gearing up for that, and we'll be getting you guys some dates for that. So anybody who's near the Charleston, West Virginia area, you're gonna be able to hopefully hop along and come over to one of these, and we're gonna have
spend some time with us.
Yep, it'll be fun. Learn some stuff. It's gonna be fun. Dave's gonna be there. He's gonna be bringing out his scope. Hopefully the skies will be clear. You'll be able to take a look through that thing, maybe. But we're gonna be talking about that, and we're gonna be talking about misidentifications and how to identify certain things in the skies and whatnot. So it'll be good. It'll be really a good workshop for you.
Hillary said a few years back, a local kid and a few of his friends swore they saw a giant beaver by pond number 9, and it was 4 feet tall and jumped into the water. We actually got that report sent into us. And it's not.
It's a dino beaver.
Yeah, right. It's not terribly unheard of to see beaver in this area get that big. I remember I was kayaking up at Summersville, and I was in one of the back channels, and I came across an absolutely just hippopotamus-sized beaver. This thing was huge. It was probably around the same size as what these boys saw. And it slid down off the bank and smashed into the water with a clap and took off. Beavers get huge if they reach maturity. Rob Posey said, I first realized the government was lying in 1997 when I saw a huge metallic orb in broad daylight right down from the Capitol over the Kanawha River, and 2 F-16s swarmed right there where it had been. That's wild.
Uh-huh.
Halloween and high strangeness together. I'm down like 4 flat tires.
God.
Oh, it's sweet. Let's do it. It's good times. And there's food involved too.
Yes, absolutely is.
I feed everybody. It's good times. Then captured eyes and EVPs. Yep, that's right. I forgot you guys had those.
Mm-hmm.
Diana says, my husband had seen a lot of high strangeness that he had documented. Well, get it. Let us see it. Talk to us about it. We want to know.
Yeah. That's what we
shared.
Kind of what we do. But yeah, you're not alone. That's for sure. There's a lot of stuff out there. I'll give you one. It's one of the personal ones, but I'm gonna give it to you anyway. I don't care. This recently just happened, actually. It was a couple of nights ago. Saw an orb floating down the hallway. Notified Joe, let him know exactly when it happened. But these things happen, guys. I mean,
well, and what was weird was 4 hours after you sent me that message.
Yeah.
I'm driving down the interstate.
Yep.
And it's snowing. We had a snowstorm coming through, and I saw a white bluish ball of light shoot below the cloud deck. It looked like it had a tail, and I'm assuming that was only because of the snow. I would imagine that if there was no snow, there wouldn't have been any kind of light trail to accompany it. It was very odd, and the fact that Ron and I saw something like that on the same day is weird.
Within hours. So, yeah. Because it was 2:47, but the thing being,
generally speaking, roughly the same area.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
What I saw was over Nitro, about 15 minutes from where you live, drive time.
But, the crazy thing is, and this is crazy, I didn't even think I always check the time. Like right now, I know what time it is. Like, I didn't know until after I saw it, and I was like, oh crap, what time is it? It's 2:47. But, it had already disappeared by the time I checked that. So, yeah, I don't know. I don't know what it was, but I know I went through the house looking for it, and there was nothing. So, yeah, those things happen though, guys. It's a real deal. It's a real thing. And yeah, I chased the orbs. All right, big deal. It was in the house. I had every right.
It was already close enough to irradiate him.
Exactly.
There's at that point here, why not?
It was bright white though. It wasn't. Yeah, it was white. So there's no purple shift or anything. So I'm good. It's all good.
Everybody over here in the chat is going on and on and on about mutant beavers and getting very, very naughty.
Y'all quit it.
I love you guys.
Y'all behave yourself. Jesus is watching.
You guys are over there in the audience entertaining Satan.
Well, according to some folks up on the hill, that's a fact. It could be demons, and that's something we're gonna have to look at.
Devil?
The devil.
It's Diana says, how does he contact you? He can get a hold of us at wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. Right there.
There you go.
Rolling.
Right there.
There's a static one somewhere. Hang on.
Right there. Well, that one's pretty good. It's got actual animation, so they can track it down, watch it.
Yeah.
It's going that way. It's going that way. Whoa, I'm mirrored.
So wildandweirdwv@gmail.com. That's our email. He can send us anything there, or you can get a hold of us over on our Facebook, Wild and Weird West Virginia, or on Instagram, Wild and Weird West Virginia, or Wild and Weird Radio, either of those.
I had a shadow experience one time while working in Clendenin. The old fire station at the end of the bridge is freaky. It wouldn't surprise me. Seen some weird stuff.
I know exactly. We drove by that, and I think we got some B-roll footage of it.
We may have
for the next episode.
We may have, if so, it's by accident.
Let's see.
Boop. I think ghost orbs are different. I've seen both recorded epic EVPs at Moundsville in 2010. I don't know what's different anymore. We're just calling it subject B and leaving it right there.
Yeah. Yeah, it's definitely dealing with non-human intelligence and strange phenomena.
Yeah.
Let's see.
You guys are just rolling. Keep them coming. Keep them coming. What would be awesome is if they would actually leave this many comments under the actual video.
Yeah, on the actual video.
Then the algorithm would just be going nuts because it'd be like, everybody wants to see this. Yeah. So go do that, guys. As a test, pick one of the videos over the past couple of weeks and just maybe that one, maybe the last one when we had Joe on. Pick that one and just leave a bunch of comments and let's just see if the algorithm pushes that out and if that thing goes through the roof like I think it will. If it does, we've got a plan.
Right. Dances with Orbs is trying to put together a girl trip over there. They're wanting to all go hang out.
Oh, there you go.
Larry Ho says, not the demons.
It's demons.
Is over here summoning demons.
Don't summon. Demons. We don't summon. If you summon, it's obviously demons. Because summon,
it's bad.
Summon's a word.
Okay, let's stop.
Do it, Joe. Do it. You want to. You want to do it.
So
figure out the way to say it.
You can summoning stuff is not always an evil thing. Like I summon my child from his bedroom periodically because he won't get out of bed.
Joe, please use summon in a sentence.
Yeah, okay. Well, this one time I was summoned to serve jury duty. I mean, that's kind of evil, I suppose. But, you get summoned. I was summoned from the bed for breakfast. I was summoned from the bathroom because my poo was taking too long.
Well, so you're saying that, wait, Joe, if I'm understanding this, because
we've all seen Dogma, Ron.
Human brain, if I'm understanding this right, you're saying that summon actually means called?
It means called. You would think, oh my God.
Are you serious?
Anybody who knows what we're saying, you know what this tangent's about. Anybody who doesn't, just try to ignore it. But good Lord. Summoned is not an evil term. Summoned doesn't mean that you're bringing in the demons.
I don't know. Alexander says
that to file taxes. for me. That's the time when you lose your tax money.
Oh, jeez.
Oh, man. Oh, let's see.
Well, there you go. It's probably not a coincidence.
And my dog farts. Coincidence? I think not. Summoning the poo demons.
Yep.
Beth saying that the door handle was shaking last night, but the cams weren't picking anything up. That's interesting.
Octo, we're not even going to show that. You quit that.
Octopus says you can't always expect an octopus to behave.
No, okay. That's fine. It's that 8-arm thing. I get it.
Oh, man. You got, oh, dear Lord. You guys ain't right. The comments is, I love you guys. I can't show these, most of them.
No, but this sums it up.
Attention passengers, the train has officially left the track.
Amen. Hillary,
That it
has.
That it has. Oh, God.
That sucker jumped the track and headed off into the next ravine somewhere.
Well, so that just frustrated me. No, yeah. Summoning, like.
Okay, I'll say it if you won't. So Chris Bledsoe was asked in an interview about, these whistleblowers who are summoning the NHI, the eggs, whatever they are. Anyway,
using the same terminology that they themselves used.
Yeah. So Chris says that you can't summon these because that's you summon demons, you summon basically.
Evil is summoned.
Evil. That's what it was. Yeah. Sorry, misquoted.
Good things are called.
Good things are called. Y'all remember that?
What?
Don't ever summon your spouse.
Don't ever summon your thesaurus.
Yeah.
You'll be terribly upset.
So let me tell you what, I'm starting to lose a lot of
poo demons or fecal fiends.
I'm really starting to just
wait to see the AI description of this episode.
Oh, it's gonna be great.
Comments descend into poo. We've been on our best behavior the last few weeks. We're due to cut loose at some point.
No, it's true. It's true. It's okay.
Bigfoot, Littlefoot. Hey, what's going on, Bigfoot, Littlefoot? We missed it.
Where have you been?
Watching, just been quiet.
Where have you been?
UFO that hit the CSXT train over in Kentucky.
No, I've heard the story, but I've never looked into it. No.
If you got any information, shoot it over to us. Because like Ron said, I've heard about the story by third-party manners, but I'd love to maybe know a little bit more.
Cold recalled. Very good, Linda. You go to the head of the class for that one.
Yeah.
Clever girl.
Oh, man.
Man, you guys blowed up the chat, so that's just amazing. Wow. It's never...
Hillary's got a channel. You guys go check her channel out.
Oh,
it's
what is it?
Woodwalkers with a Z. I'm going to go check them out and sub here in a bit.
Get them.
Woodwalkers with a Z. Let's see. Octopus said the edibles get me talking too much. May be the case tonight. Jealous.
That's possible.
Beth says eating a roast beef, listening to y'all talk about beavers and summoning demons. Someone's called the church lady.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. Dana Carvey was ahead of it, man. I'm telling you. It's a prophet.
Speaking of Dana Carvey, Dana Carvey has been named as one of these people who is being used as a plant or knows information about the UFO phenomena. Have you seen that?
No.
Yes, and that church lady was part of the
God.
desensitization stuff. But But there's this crazy, like I saw this, right? And I was like, okay, this is ridiculous. But then I remembered a couple months ago this crazy connection that Dana Carvey is somewhat linked to the UFO phenomena. He has a podcast, right?
Right.
It's a hilarious podcast, but they did a podcast on UFOs out of the blue, completely random, off the topic and general consensus that they normally follow. So it was out of sync for them. Just did an episode on UFOs. Great episode, funny episode, great episode. But they talk about UFO experiences and stuff. And so here all of a sudden you've got Dana Carvey talking about UFOs. Dana Carvey was the church lady. Satan.
I mean, it could be. Everyone knows that,
maybe Dana Carvey's an alien. That's why he has an alien.
Maybe. It could be. I mean, Wayne was clearly one of the Lone Gunman. That one dude from Lone Gunman looked a lot like Wayne.
Right.
Yeah.
We need to get me, you, and Dave and recreate the Lone Gunman photo.
Oh, we're totally doing that. We got to get the lighting right and all that too. It'll be great.
Oh, we have plenty of lighting to do that with.
Yeah. But these people are absolutely just, I'm telling you, it's getting crazier every day. And the more I think about it, my hero happens to be right here. And ladies and gentlemen, Lou Elizondo has a plan. That's all I'm going to say. And just make sure that I'm going to make sure my bunker is stocked with a lot of tequila.
Coffee and tequila.
Yeah. Lots of it. Yeah. And, probably enough to do about a year or so. I think you just be down there for a little bit. You wouldn't be down that long. You'll be all right. As long as the agave doesn't take a hit, I'll be fine. But if the agave plants start going down, because it is, that projection path, I mean, y'all, this is serious, y'all. I mean, this is deadly serious because, that area is right. Yeah. Yeah.
If it does hit, there's a good chance that the climate would radically change and then we could grow agave here.
Oh, well, okay. Well, that's okay then. Well, that's all right then. As long as we can get the agave up above that line right there, I think we'll be okay. I think we're going to be okay. And besides, a lot of folks are retiring and they're investing in tequila farms. They're these agave farms for tequila. So everybody's got their own. That's
true.
Yeah. It seems like a good retirement plan.
Alex says we need to build a tequila ark.
I like this plan. This is a great plan.
Oh, man.
That is a great plan right there. Where are we going? Don't matter. When we getting there, who cares?
Oz says, I'm not afraid of the asteroid, just the resulting ice age.
Nah. This one's okay. I mean, could be something else. I mean, maybe again.
The big thing that I want to do is like, if it's going to hit, I want to get down and I want to put my hands on the ground because I want to feel it. I want to feel the earth rumble as this thing strikes.
That's a noble wish. You freaking weirdo.
I do. I just want to feel the earth.
You know what? The world's going to end, but I think I'm going to go out there and I'm going to take my catcher's mitt and I'm just going to stand there and catch it like this.
Hey,
what's
for real,
wrong with you?
That thing would be the most valuable asteroid ever because we would have lived through it and people could be like, here's a chunk of the thing that tried to kill us. We made it.
That's true. And I will make a necklace out of it and wear it.
Yes.
And people will dig it up in the future and think it's some religious relic. It'll be great. Really going to mess with people. It's going to mess with a lot of people at that point.
Oh, man.
Might come back just to do it.
Big Rock, leave my tequila alone.
Oh my God. You people are insane.
Gary Schuler says he's good at mimicry, so Carvey could blend in with our people.
Right? That's what I'm saying.
There's agave in the moon, Ron.
Now, if that's true,
agave.
If that's true, now I think that's a conspiracy theory right now. And it's unfounded. But if I find out that's true, we're going to use every cent that we make over here on our goals to build our rocket. Okay.
To get to the moon.
We're building a rocket and we are going to the moon.
Tequila.
Yeah.
I will use my distillery skills and we will begin to brew tequila on the moon.
Yes, it's moon tequila for everyone at that point. So y'all start donating again because we're going to the moon if this is true. I'm just letting you know right now.
Oz says, I've been buying Tektites and Desert Glass. It'll probably be raining down on me for free.
Yeah, you never know.
Oh, man.
All we need some new Moldavite in this world,
Right?
Stuff's too expensive. It's time to lower the market a little bit.
Larry said, if the moon was made of tequila, you would drink it.
Well, would you drink it? I don't know.
I'd give it a try.
I don't know about that.
Well, guys, it's safe to say that we have gone so far off the rails. We are here at the end of the show.
It's amazing to see how far off the rails we went with this one. This reminds me of one of the first shows we did.
Right.
Never mind. We'll talk about window areas after the next episode because, everybody wants to talk about moon tequila.
There, and then we got side railed. Hillary
moon
took
tequila, and that's fine.
To go down.
No, moon tequila is fine. Yeah. She's already got the name for us. It's going to be called Dark Side Tequila.
There we go.
Roger Waters will sue us, and it'll be great. A lot of fun.
Probably. We'll just give him a cut of the sales.
No, it's Roger, man. He wants it all. Trust me.
Yeah, that's true.
That dude, he don't play. He don't play.
Oh, man. Rakes, where are we going? We don't need rails. Oh, rails. Where are we going? We don't need rails.
Someone's been in the moon tequila already, kids.
Yep.
Makes you wonder. Man. Makes you wonder.
This has been fun. I needed to laugh. It's been a crap show of a week. So this has been long overdue.
Yeah, well, between this and what do I have to live for? I can't remember. The next
watch that thing scorch across the sky and slap into the planet.
No, the next season of Fortnite starts soon, so
that's right. Starts
living for that. And I can't think of too much else, honestly. I want to finish this project. That'll be great, and then I want to get back out. Yeah, I want to get that's nothing. So when we get back out to Wineberry, it all starts all over again. So that's going to be some fun times right there. Everybody's going to be loving that one. Well, hopefully, we'll leave Bigfoot some moon tequila and see if it has any effect.
What we'll get.
Could you imagine if you follow with me here? Okay. Just follow me. If
Ron got to try the flaming coconut, by the way.
I did.
LR says next thing you know, we'll be talking about coconuts.
I did. Yeah, it's a very unique drink. Let's just say that. I don't remember much else.
I was going to say it'll take you there and leave you there.
I don't remember much, honestly. Couple drinks in, and that was. I don't know. I can't tell you what it even tastes like now. I remember coconut, sort of. But it was really pineapple-y. They had a very, it had like a, almost like a pina colada feel to it. And I don't remember anything else. I'll be honest with you guys. So probably a good thing. But could you imagine having that kind of a party with Bigfoot out in the woods? That'd be something, wouldn't it? Like if Bigfoot is really a flesh and blood, well, it doesn't even matter. I mean, could be extra dimensional. He still likes tequila, right? So if you could just get Bigfoot to sit down, chill out, stop hiding, and just kick back with a glass, can you imagine? Just think about that, people. That's the world we want to live in. That's the peace that we can bring you if you invest in the rocket ship to get us to the freaking moon so we can get the moon tequila. All right.
We need the moon tequila, guys. We need it. Thank you all for hanging out with us. You guys have been fantastic. We need the moon tequila. Stay wild and weird, everybody. We will see you next week for Wild and Weird Radio Standard Edition. Next week, Thursday, 8 p.m. Eastern. Be here. It's going to be a blast.
Blessings.
Good night, everybody. And stay wild and weird. And remember, the next time you look at the moon, start to gauge in your head how much tequila it could hold. It's important for reasons.